And welcome to this week's edition of the Panthers Sports Report. Mike Prince along with Shotgun Willie Simmons. We are live from Raising Cane's off of Cypress Road here in Cypress, Texas. Coach, some would say it was a rough week, but I don't look at it that way. Why don't you give us an update and a summary of last week's game against the Texas A&M Aggies?
Oh, well, no question. It was a tough week. How rough it was, but again, we went and played a top 20 national football team. That's it. That's arguably the best conference in college football right now, Texas A&M, playing in the SEC. So, there was some positives to take from last week's game. Of course, you look at the score, and that wasn't a positive, but, our guys competed. At the end of the day, we went up there, we went toe-to-toe with them, and we didn't quit. And that's something that I challenged the team early in the week. We went up there to make history. We made history as far as that being the first time we played Texas A&M. But in order to beat that team, that would have been historic in and of itself. So we were trying to do something that had never been done before, and that's not an easy thing to accomplish. Otherwise, it would have been done a lot of times before us. So, but the guys competed. They played their butts off. We had some opportunities. Did some good things. I talked to the coaching staff after the game, and they commended us on what we were doing with the program. One of the coaches, talked about us winning our league and how well coached and prepared we are. So, again, there's some positives to take from the game. Of course, we want to try to learn from it, put it to bed, and then get ready for next week's opponent, which Alabama A&M is more important than Texas A&M.
Well, one thing that I noticed during the walkthroughs, yes, the legacy and the aura of Kyle Field. The guys walked in there and they had their cameras and everything out, but it wasn't as if they were so overwhelmed as if they didn't belong. And if they did a good job of disguising it. But the mental approach was, we're here to take care of business, and let's just be truthful about it. Like you said, you were there to play the game and do the best of your ability, but there's a reason why those guys are at the SEC, which some argue is the best football conference or college football conference in the United States. But what I really admired was the confidence level that these young men had walking into this place. They said, we belong here. And you heard me talk to you in the press conference about Josiah. Josiah was like, I'm going to get on the same playing field. He dreamed about going to LSU and this, that, and the other. And he said, I'm going to be on the same field with the Garretts and with the A&M, and which by far is one of the best defensive lines throughout the country. And the mental preparedness that they had, that's got to be a tribute to how you guys are preparing them for each week.
Well, we try to prepare for life. And like I tell them, in life, you're going to run into some obstacles that are going to be insurmountable. It's going to be monumental. And the thing that you can't do is back down from it. You have to attack every challenge head on. And that's what our team did. We went in there knowing that they were going to be bigger, they were going to be faster, they were going to be stronger. And again, there's a reason they were ranked top 20. They're ranked number 17 right now. And so, again, they're one of the 17 best football teams in all of America, according to the pollsters. So, they're a really good football team. They're going to give people fits this year. I argue that they have the best defensive line in college football. Myles Garrett is a top 5 NFL draft pick. Deshane Hall is an underclassman. When he gets ready to come out, he's probably a first-round pick. You talk to many people that's played A&M and people that know the program, they say Dylan Mack's the best player on the team. He's a backup defensive tackle. So again, the challenge to go up against a team of that caliber and nature was going to be tough. And so the effort that our guys gave for them to battle for 60 minutes and not quit, even once we got down, again, I think it's a testament to the true character of this football team, and hopefully we can take this game and learn from it. Because again, like I told them, don't let Texas A&M beat you twice. They beat us on last Saturday, but let's not let them beat us again by hanging our heads, by feeling sorry for ourselves, by doubting ourselves or whether we're good enough. Again, everything we set out for ourselves, the 5 goals that we set for the beginning of the season, are all still in place. None of those goals were affected by the Texas A&M loss. So again, we played the game, and last time I checked, I talked to Mr. Roberts, I think the check cleared. So we came out healthy. I think the check cleared, and so we're able to fund other sports, and that's the reason we play those games. If you have a chance to make history and do like a North Carolina A&T, beating the Kent State. Grambling had Arizona on the ropes until halftime. So if you have a chance to do something special, make history, that's just icing on the cake. But people must understand we play these games to make sure that we can support our non-revenue sports. And I know a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people think that it beats our players up, it takes their morale down. Trust me, our team getting beat is not going to hurt our team morale. I got a confident bunch of young men who trust in each other, who trust in this coaching staff, who trust in this university. And again, everything that we set out for ourselves is still there. And we're going to attack the rest of the season to make sure that we accomplish our goal.
We're talking with Coach Willie Simmons from Raising Cane's in Cypress, Texas, live here on the Panthers Sports Report. Dr. Michael Prince. Coach, I want to talk one more issue, if we will. Not even an issue, but an observation. The speed of the game. Can you describe how the speed was different last week versus what you normally face throughout your SWAC opponents?
Well, you look at it on film. We ran some plays, I'm just talking offensively, where when the quarterback handed the running back the ball, there was a hole there. I mean, any other team in the league, we probably run for 30, 40 yards. But those holes close so fast when you're playing against that level of competition. There were times when the ball was in the air when we were on defense and the defender is right there. But by the time the ball lands, the receiver is a few steps ahead because of the speed of the game. And, so the tempo as far as how they played, that didn't affect us one bit. There wasn't any time during that game Saturday where we weren't aligned on defense. They see tempo every day in practice. We try to be one of the fastest teams in America. So when we talk about the speed of the game, that's not what we're talking about. It's how fast they move, because again, they are bigger, they are faster, they are stronger, and they have top-notch facilities. I mean, they have the top-notch nutrition. They have 8 or 9 strength coaches. We have one. They have a nutritionist that travels with them everywhere they go, that makes sure they eat right. That when they go to the cafeteria, they have their own training table where they specifically eat certain things. And so when you're talking about programs who have endowments of $4.5 billion, I mean, they got more money than the law should allow. So everything from a resource standpoint, those guys have, and it's a reason why they play at that level in the SEC. So again, I'm proud of my young men. No matter what anyone says about the game or these guys, I'm extremely proud of these young men because again, they went toe-to-toe with the giant and didn't blink an eye, didn't back down. And for 60 minutes, we gave them not necessarily our best shot because we could have played better. And that's the goal. Learn from the mistakes that we made and play better. But as far as the effort we gave, as far as the heart we showed, I couldn't be more proud of those young men that I get to coach.
Couldn't have summed it up any better. You would have liked to see, as you mentioned, take advantage of a couple of field goal opportunities, especially early in the game, which kind of almost would tighten that grip on those guys a little bit. But nonetheless, you did say the check cleared, right?
I think it did.
Okay, the check cleared.
I got some blinds in my office today, but I think
all right. Well, we're here at Raising Cane's with Coach Willie Simmons and the Panthers. They survived going through A&M, but they'll get prepared for the other A&M, that side on the SWAC side, the Bulldogs. We'll talk about that when we return. You listen to the Sports Report live with Coach Willie Simmons from Raising Cane's on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas. It's a new year, and that means tax season is here, and Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of The Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
You're invited to the second annual gun show presented by the Columbus Club of Hempstead, Texas, Saturday, September 17th and Sunday, September the 18th, 22892 Mac Washington Road in Hempstead, Texas.
General admissions only $5.
For more information, send your emails to ccgunshow@gmail.com.
to the Willie Simmons Show live, the Sports Report Panthers edition. Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons and Dr. Michael Prince, we're live from Raising Cane's. You hadn't eaten yet, huh, Coach?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you get a chance to eat this week when you take on the A&M Bulldogs. A&M coming off of a big win off of Mississippi Valley this week. I believe the score was 35-16, 35-21, something of that nature. Nonetheless, you guys had a shootout last year at your home away from home at Waller ISD Stadium. This team has an explosive offense. What's your counterattack to try to minimize these guys this week?
Well, it's about being assignment sound. Coach Street, I know he'll do a great job and put a great plan together for the defense. They're a formational football team, which means they're going to try to get in different type of looks and motion people around and try to get the defense out of place. And so for us, defensively, it's about getting lined up, about communicating the call, everyone understanding what's going on, and then executing. And then offensively, it's about us getting back to the things that we do, which is playing with great tempo, coming off the ball, establishing the run. For the last 2 weeks, we haven't been able to get our ground game going, and so we're really challenging our offensive line this week to come off the ball, be more aggressive, challenging the receivers to block better on the perimeter, and challenging the running backs to see the hole and hit the hole and hold on to the football. So, for us to be successful, we got to establish the run game that allows us to get into our play action pass game and get those safeties sucked up. We can go over the top with some of our speed that we have outside. And then, as always, the kicking game got to be the difference. We have to find a way to control the game in the kicking game, win the field position battle, get big returns, get punts off clean, cover. We had our first, again, punt returns, yards given up probably over 9 games. We ran one back for a touchdown against us last week. So getting back to the basic fundamentals of what we do. And the 7 things that we talk about, having faith, playing with great fundamentals, being fast, fighting, finishing everything, being a family, having fun, we're about 5 out of 7 right now. I told the team right now the 2 things we need to improve on the most, get better at our fundamentals, and then finish a little bit better. Again, sustain blocks, finish tackles, convert on third downs. Our third down percentage is not very good right now. We've gotten 3 times inside the red zone, missed field goal, 1 being blocked. And so we got to do a better job of finishing. But the other 5, I think we're doing a pretty good job of. So the fun part is winning. Again, for 8 weeks straight, we didn't know what a loss felt like. And we definitely love the way that feels of knowing after every game that you won. And we want to do everything we can to get back to that loving feeling of winning and being in the locker room and celebrate with your teammates after a hard-fought game. Now,
Coach, I know that football, of course, is a team sport, and you being the offensive guru that you are, it's been somewhat of a frustrating start for you offensively. You just made mention of your running backs hitting the holes, and once again, you don't want to beat a dead horse, but the likes of, you never replaced Jonathan Hebert, but as far as the rotation, Broach has been getting a little more touches. Tucker is merging as a soon-to-be go-to guy. How are you dissecting that process of the run game?
Well, it's twofold. One, you lost to Jonathan Hebert, you lost Courtney Brown, you lost Fred Anderson, but probably more importantly, you lost Glenn Hazley, Jordan Johnson, and Denzel Lewis. Those guys were as big a part of the run game as Jonathan Hebert was. So when Jonathan went out the game, Courtney ran the ball well. Fred ran the ball similar when he got in the game. And so the thing is, we've got 3 new offensive linemen starting that didn't start last year, bringing in a brand new center in Gus Lopez. Backup center is a transfer student from South Alabama. And so we're still trying to get that group of 5 to 7 guys to gel together. And they're getting better. We challenge them this week to be more physical. Right now we're not coming off the ball low and hard enough to get movement and sustain movement. Double teams, we're letting guys split double teams. We're not pushing them back to the linebackers and giving our running backs 2-way goals in the running game. And so that's something that we got to work extremely hard on this week. The defense they play poses a great challenge for us by how they align. So we got to do a great job of communicating. They like to play with overhang defenders. They like to keep 3 linemen in the interior, covering up your guard and your centers. So almost like a bear defense, so to speak. So we got to do a great job this week of getting on our men, sustaining blocks, again, and running backs running hard. And like I said, receivers, when we get to the perimeter, do a great job of holding on the blocks. But I think we'll do better against high level competition. Again, we're trying to run the ball against a dominant defensive front last week. Couldn't never get anything established, but I think this week we'll be able to do a better job of that, and then hopefully that will open up the rest of our offense, getting first down and allowing our tempo to really take hold. We haven't gotten many first downs, and you can't play fast with tempo unless you're getting first downs. And so the more first downs we get, the faster we can play, the more we can get explosive plays, and we're nowhere near our play count. We anticipate getting about 80 snaps a game. Right now we're about 60. We're about 20 plays off of what our norm is. And so, again, but it goes back to fundamentals. If we do the fundamental things right, we'll get back to playing our style of football offensively, and I think we'll give ourselves a chance to be successful.
Now, you talk about a guy who is slowly emerging to becoming one of the go-to guys on the offensive side, and that's DeMarco Lestrade. He had a career high last week against A&M, 6 receptions, 88 yards. He and Hodge have somewhat been the favorite targets in this young part of the season for Trey Green.
No question. You're talking about two guys that are over 6'2". They're 6'2". Lestrade's about 6'4". They both have long wingspans, and they can make plays on ball. So Trey, Lestrade was a starter for us last year. Kadero ended up being a starter for us once Petrie went down. So those are two guys that Trey's familiar with. But Josh Simmons is coming along. He's had 2 sound football games, and Darius Floyd is his backup, or really co-starter, so to speak. And he's really doing a great job. So we have 4 good receivers that we feel really good about right now. Trying to build more depth. We got some young guys who's going to have to challenge and push along to save the spell those guys a little bit. I think Lestrade with the last week's game kind of wore down. He's playing 60 snaps on offense and then playing all special teams. So he kind of wore down a little bit as the game went on. And so we got to find some guys that can spare him some of those offensive snaps. And Quentin Bell is coming along as well. Kind of wish he would have come down with that deep ball against A&M the other day, but he's still growing. He's a 6'4", 220-pound kid that's a sub-21 second 200-meter guy. Really big, really fast, really explosive. So we got to find ways to get him involved in the offense. So we have the weapons. It's not a shortage of talent. It's just a matter of, again, executing, getting first downs, keeping the chains moving, keeping the ball off the ground, and giving ourselves a chance to really get into our tempo. That's the whole philosophy of our offense. If we can get into our tempo, then you'll see us start to roll. In the first 2 weeks, we just haven't been able to do that.
Well, part of getting into that tempo is a solid defense. And the defense, despite when people look at the score 67-0, but when you're playing on short fields and this, that, and the other, and you're playing the caliber team that you play, let's talk about the addition of Travion Billings and how he has even added more to an already solid defense.
Well, the one positive this year is after 2 games, we're leading the conference in sacks. And so that's something that you always want to try to establish. If we can get pressure on the quarterback, that makes everything easier for the defense. The secondary doesn't have to cover as long. The linebackers don't have to try to spot drop and run the zones. A couple of running backs and tight ends are much longer. And it just really makes it hard on the opposing offenses. So he's added a pass rush element to us. Very, very athletic young man, very versatile. Can stand up and drop in the coverage, can rush the passer. We'll line him up on the inside sometimes against centers and guards. So he's really, really done a good job of giving us a new element to our defense. And also Terrence Singleton. Terrence Singleton right now is our leading tackler, from the cornerback spot, which I don't know if that's a great thing to boast, but having 19 tackles in 2 games, he's really doing a good job of being opportunistic. He's competed week 1 against Derek Griffin, who's a 6'7", 230-pound receiver. Last week he competed against Christian Kirk, who's an NFL receiver. Ricky Seals-Jones, who's a 6'6" receiver. Speedy Noah, who is one of the most explosive guys in the SEC. So he's shown why he was a Baylor transfer. He brought a lot of confidence to the defensive unit, a lot of playmaking ability to the defensive side of the ball. And when you look at even last week's game, I thought he and Arthur Lockett competed their butts off. They really did a great job of competing. They really didn't hit any big plays on the outside. The big balls they hit were kind of in the slots against our nickel backs and safeties. But those 2 guys really, really played a great game. Even Riley Johnson had an interception and a fumble recovery, so a forced fumble. So those guys are starting to really step up, in the secondary. Last year that was an area of concern for us, but they're really doing a great job. But I think that's attributed to the defensive line and how they played with Devon Reed, James Harper, Keenan Barton, Willie Green, and now you add a Travion Billings to that fold, James Paul Bryant. So those guys are really doing a good job of really putting pressure on the quarterback, and if we can continue that, I think our defense will continue to put up good numbers.
Well, the Panthers are getting ready for their next opponent, which will be Alabama A&M from Huntsville, Alabama. You can listen to them live on KPVU 91.3 FM. We'll talk a little bit more about that and with more of Panther athletics throughout the Hill, if you will. There are new things going on the Hill. It starts with Shotgun Willie, and it's picking up right on downhill. We're going to take us another big break, and when we come back, we'll be right back here from Raising Cane's from Cypress, Texas. You're listening to the Sports Report Panthers edition on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas. It's a new year, and that means tax season is here, and Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
You're invited to the second annual gun show presented by the Columbus Club of Hempstead, Texas, Saturday, September 17th and Sunday, September the 18th, 22892 Mac Washington Road in Hempstead, Texas. General admissions only $5. For more information, send your emails to ccgunshow@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Report, Panthers edition from Raising Cane's, Cypress, Texas. Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons and Dr. Michael Prince about to wrap this week's show up. There's a lot going on the Hill. Lady Panthers volleyball will open up SWAC play against the Lady Tigers of Grambling. And don't forget the other football. Lady soccer will be doing action. You can check out all the latest and the greatest for Panthers athletics going to pvathletics.com. And if you want any information, you got to check in the man with the plan, the new sports information / assistant athletic director, Dwayne Lewis. Check him out and be sure to never miss what's going on. Coach, speaking about never missing what's going on, how's my man Owen Houlihan going on right now? You know, kickers can be pretty sensitive in psyche. Is he doing all right?
He's doing fine. You know, he hit some really, really good kicks yesterday. It's just a matter of getting his groove back. You know, for a kicker, especially when one gets blocked, it kind of messes with your psyche a little bit. You start focusing more on protection than your fundamentals. And so, again, same message for Owen and the rest of the team. Get back to the basics. Get back to our fundamentals. Phenomenal kicker, good role guy, plays kicker as well as our punter. And I think he's one of the better kickers, if not the best kicker in the league. So we expect a lot out of Owen. He understands that. He knows that. But he'll respond. I'm not concerned about Owen Houlihan one bit. We show up our protection for him, make sure he's good, protected, can kick the ball. And he hits him like he hit him yesterday. We're going to be making him about 55 plus hours.
Well, you're going to have to do that. Panthers will be on the road. This is going to be road game number 2 of a 4-game stretch before they meet back at the confines of the new Panther Stadium. But the Panthers will be on the road with a 6 p.m. kickoff, taking on Alabama A&M Bulldogs from Huntsville, Alabama. Coach, anything you want to share with PV Nation before we wrap up this week's program?
Well, I'm just excited to be back, getting back to work. And again, the true character of a fan, true nature of a fan is to support these guys win the draw. And And it's easy to say we went to College Station and took one on the chin, but again, they realized this group of guys hadn't lost a game in about 3 months, and this was their first one. So we're moving in the right direction. You know, we're going back to work, and we had a great spirited practice yesterday. I couldn't have been more pleased with the way practice went yesterday. I thought we got a lot better. The scout team did a phenomenal job for us, giving us great looks, great attitudes. And so again, it shows that this group is a resilient bunch. Adversity is going to strike us. We understand that. We talk about it all the time. But it's how we respond to that adversity that's going to really define who we are as men. And I thought these guys did a great job of responding to the adversity that we faced on last Saturday. And again, like I said, don't feel sorry for the Panthers. Feel sorry for who we play next.
I know that's right. The check did clear, right?
The check did clear.
Okay, the check did clear, and the Panthers are clear set, and the pathway heading to Huntsville will take place real soon. And you can listen to the Panthers live at KPVU 91.3 FM. The Panthers will be going into SWAC play yet again, where they still have yet to lose in 9 games. And you can listen live, as we mentioned, at KPVU 91.3 FM. That is going to wrap up our time this week, as I am going to remind you that soccer will be at St. Thomas at 7 p.m. this coming weekend. Men's cross country will be at Texas A&M, going back to the land of Aggies. And they'll be at Corpus Christi. That's to be coming up in the later future days here. Also want to talk to you about a whole bunch of other things coming up, and we'll have all that wrapped up as we give you the mini report of the sports report throughout the rest of the week. Our time is up for now. I'm Dr. Michael Prince, and he is Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons. We've been coming to you live from Raising Cane's in Cypress, Texas. Until next week, be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.